seeing guys go off the corners and come back on with a race car that's still clean. I love that. Absolutely love that. I love the staff. Easy to work with, fun-loving. Everybody says hi.
So hardworking.
They are.
Yes.
They hustle.
And especially in that heat.
Yes.
It's
Especially in that
amazing.
heat. And I can't tell you what it's been like working with Mike McCann, a guy that understands racing, understands racetrack operation, understands promotions, understands how to run a show. You know, you're not going to agree with everything everybody does. You know, there's some things about there's things that Mike does that I would do different, but there's things that you do, Gary, that I would do different. And same with anybody else sitting at this table. Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is Mike runs a great show. He runs a great show. He runs a tight show. And the way he has treated us has been, you know, typically there's not a lot of communication with the track owner and the track announcer. They're just typically, because you're doing too many things at the same time. Every single week, Mike has made time to get with us. He's come up in the booth. He's hung out with us. He watches the show to make sure things are going the way. I mean, this guy is on top of things. I'm telling you right now, it has been nothing but a pleasure to work with him this year. Fantastic. I mean, it's...
You know, and he'll learn something from all this, too, whether it be the style of things that are going on, maybe it's attitude, maybe it's something. And then everybody here, I've taken some stuff from Mike. I don't know if he's ever learned anything from me, but I'll tell you what, I've taken some things from him. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he's a no BS kind of a guy. You know, he wants to run a good, clean, tight show and get those cars on that track. Mm-hmm. Downtime is a killer for fans.
And he understands that, and he knows how to put on a show.
Darn good job,
he does.
Doesn't he?
And I'll tell you something else. I want to give a shout-out to Don Martin.
Oh, boy. He's
this
a worker.
dude here, you talk about a worker, and you talk about a guy that is just diligent on his research. Here's a guy that came out of California. He's only been at Southern Oregon Speedway 4 years, and he will tell you the history of that place going back to what they call the old posse grounds. Unfortunately, I never got to the posse grounds. I was too young to travel down there, and we were too busy up here, racing in the Northwest, Pacific Northwest, up here in the, areas I'm talking about.
Valley,
Central.
The Willamette Valley. He has been a huge help to me personally as far as names, car numbers, lap times, fixing the computer, history, who's done what, when they've done it. I mean, absolute gem to that racetrack, Don Martin is.
He's a multitasker like you would not believe.
Here's a guy that is helping run the show and writing articles on 7 to 11 different tracks every week and actually working during the show, doing everything. Everything I just said, he does during the show. The computer system. When my computer system goes down, boom, he's on it. When something needs to be done outside of the tower, he's on it. The guy he's absolutely phenomenal, and to have somebody like that to help you in the position that I have, there's no price tag for that. I mean, awesome to have him on in that tower.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
He does work his tail off. Super easy to work with, super easy to talk to. Knows everything.
He has done his research on that racetrack.
There was a night
that
he had an armful of trophies, and he was about ready to drop a bunch of them. And
Mm-hmm.
so I went over and I helped grab some because it's like he just takes everything. He's like I am when I unload groceries at the house.
Yeah.
I try to grab every darn bag I can.
Got 3 bags on each finger, and they're all twisted around.
And
blood fly
and
out.
milk.
Right.
You know, it's like whatever. Yeah. And he does that. So what I have done is I've tried to get done in the pits so I can get up to the tower to help grab trophies so that I can go down to the track and help them carry them down, because when you're stringing 16 trophies in your arms and trying to hold these things and go down a ladder, it just...
part of the other thing about the season recap that has stood out to me has been the flow of the show, which we've talked about. It has been How did I want to word this? I'll come back to it. I don't want to say it the wrong way. But watching some of these drivers that have progressed through the season. Young guys moving up to different, new guys that, and again, new to us, when a guy steps up and we're there the first year with him, I don't know his history, but watch some of these guys develop. Anissa Curtis in the 8C sprint car. She has been fun to watch progress. One of the drivers, and I'm talking about progression, getting better. It's been fun to watch over the season, and I was pretty sure he was going to pull one off this year. He didn't, which is more of a surprise to me that he didn't win, was the 12W of Brandon Wilson. A guy that just got better and better. He's only been in these cars a couple years, and his season stood out to me. The fact that he didn't dominate a division, like some of these guys, like the 4E of Trent Elliott dominated late models, or Mike Wheeler dominated the sprint cars, or, you got guys that just do that. Their game is there. They're experts. They're, on a professional level, if you want to use that term. But you've got these guys coming up that are going to be really, really good. And for me, that's one driver that, truly has stood out as far as from the first week we got there all the way through. Late model wise, Miles Dubert in the 3D has a guy that's gotten better and better. In the modifieds, that's so tough because there's so many. There's so many good guys in that division. As far as progressively getting better in modifieds, that's hard to say. Anybody stand out for you in that division?
They've all kind of traded off. It's kind of hard because, the track conditions are what really rule that class.
And that's the other thing, too, going back to track conditions. Like you said, every week it's different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've seen the same track 2 weeks in a row.
No.
I love that about what Mike McCann does at that racetrack. He'll get you. He'll catch you sleeping. There's been some guys it's bit in the tail. The other thing that has really stood out from this year has been from midpoint on, the points battle in the sprint cars. As good as Mike Wheeler has been, with 3 wins, the points leader as of last week, I don't even think he has a win yet this season. Bailey Hibbert in the number 1 and took over the points lead when Wheeler broke. This is how close it is. Yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about, the level of competition there. We've got a guy that's won 3 straight races, is clearly the fastest guy in the field, shows up, breaks, points lead goes to Bailey Hibbert, who doesn't even win the race, and Charlie Thompson gets his first win of the year, and in the process sets a new track record doing it. Okay, new track record under the terms, under the system that Southern Oregon Speedway uses. Okay. Did it during the feature. 10.991 with a limited sprint car. It's faster than the 360 sprint car track record. Faster than the 360s. Okay, we're talking laying it down and he got his first win of the year.
So let's put some perspective on this.
So now you got Wheeler, who's still in the title hunt. Okay, he still could leave this Saturday with the championship. Bailey Hibbert is now the favorite because he's got the points lead coming in. But Charlie Thompson, if something happens to both those guys, he's still right there in the hunt too. It would take a lot, but mathematically, he could still walk out with the title. This has been, as far as points races go, this has been the fun one to watch because it has been close. I tried to get a hold of Don today, couldn't get the current points. But we will release that. We'll release that. We'll get that updated on Moxie Promotions, the points race for the sprint cars. I don't even know who to bet on in this deal because you got Hibbert as his new points leader. Wheeler's right there. We're talking markers. We're talking. I think it's probably single digits at this point. And then Charlie Thompson mathematically could still do this. What's the date on this one?
Well, I'm just looking. There's no dates on these. So
this is from last Saturday.
Obviously, that's the newest one simply because the points are higher on that one.
Okay, so Wheeler came in with 161. Bailey Hibbert had 144. Okay. Wheeler breaks. Hibbard gets the win, takes over the points lead. Charlie Thompson wins the race, scores the most points, okay? And he came in with 139, only 5 back of Bailey Hibbard. Any one of those guys could walk out there Saturday night for the championship. That is what, I mean, that's exciting. This is why NASCAR, pay attention. This is why you don't run a playoff format. Yeah. This is why you don't do it. This right here is what it's all about. You set a schedule, you run those races, and whoever scores the most points for the season walks out. You've got 3 guys here, 4 guys, if you really want to talk about it, mathematically can win this title because Enrique Jaime, without a win yet, sits 4th in points coming into last week. He was 4th in points with 136, only 3 back from the 3rd place guy. You see what I'm saying? Any one of those 4 guys can walk out with the track championship. It's going to take a little bit of luck. For someone like Enrique Jaime, who's 4th. But
it's still possible.
It is still possible. Mm-hmm. Still possible. This is what it's all about. I love the fact that it is so close. So we got Dave Steele has locked up the 2019 Bobby O's Pizza Mini Stocks Track Championship. Greg Arnold last Saturday locked up the Valley Storal Late Model Lights Track Championship. Okay. IMCA Sport Modifieds are coming this Saturday. Late Models Championship is locked up for Trent Elliott. He ended up the season with 5 wins. 2nd in points. I thought this was awesome. Dave Everson in the 40.
Yeah.
Do you guys realize, and I honestly, I'm gonna be honest about this. I learned after he won the dash in Victory Lane when the show was over, they pulled up, get your trophy, do the interview. I learned the final race of the late model season, and I talked to everybody. Dave's kind of the guy that kind of sits back in the background. He's like that, Panther guy that kind of just watches everything and learns, and he's got a fast car. I learned at the last race of the year for the late models in Victory Lane after the final show, he was a rookie in that division, you guys. He was a rookie driver in the late models. And he finished 2nd in points. Actually edged out Darren Koffel.
Wow.
Koffel finished
just
3rd.
by a couple points. But of course, those aren't after. Mm-hmm. Those were before the last race.
Modifieds are coming. And Zach Fettinger is the points leader with 237. Jesse Bailey, 2 wins on the season. Fettinger has 1. Mm-hmm. Fettinger 237. Jesse Bailey 215. Mathematically in the hunt. So is Justin Folks in the 6J. He's got 214. He's 1 point out of 2nd in the 3rd spot. So there's 3 drivers. Mathematically, it's going to take a lot to get by Fettinger, who has had, consistent season, passing cars. He's been fast. We're going to settle that championship this Saturday night. Okay? We're going to settle the Sport Mod title this Saturday night. Jordan Broughton is a leader coming into Saturday night. He has 273 championship points accumulated. Isaac Sanders has 241. Okay, so here's the current sprint car points. Wow. This is absolutely amazing. New points leader Bailey Hibbard. Championship points on the season, 177. Sitting 2nd in points is Mike Wheeler, 174.
Wow.
And sitting 3rd in points, Charlie Thompson with 173. Top 3 drivers separated by 4 points coming into championship night.
Heck yeah. Good times.
I guess I know who I'm going to be watching.
They're going to be riding bumpers.
Here's what this is funny. I make observations like this. Points leaders, top 3 positions, numbers 1, 1W, and 101. Man, that is absolutely phenomenal. The top 3 drivers are separated by a total of 4 points from 1st to 3rd.
Have fun calling that race.
Yes.
That's incredible. Roy Bain says Dave's a past Pro Stock champion.